Okay, so how all that relates to pain is that, for a start, many of those sensors live in tissues throughout your body. Okay, but regardless, some of those sensors have quite high activation thresholds, and so they are there to look for potentially dangerous levels of stimulation. Okay, and so they will then feed that information into your body, and your system has to work out at that point in time whether or not you're in danger. And so it'll certainly use that information in terms of its intensity and location, those sorts of things, but it's also going to use what it knows. And so it's going to ask, well, what's happening right now? What's the situation that I'm in? What's my experience of being here in the past? What was I expecting was going to happen? It's also going to ask, well, what's it mean? Might it be something really bad? Might it have a really bad impact on my day, my week, my life? Might it be nothing? And also, how am I right now? Okay, and so that's going to be thinking about things like your health. So if you've got other major health challenges going on, that might influence how dangerous that danger feels. But even if you slept poorly or you haven't been eating well, that might all influence how your body is in a position to react on any given day. How you're feeling. So if, for instance, you were angry, then you're already under threat. And so new threat might be more threatening than if you're relaxed and calm. How your relationships and connections are at that point in time, and however you explore, express, or experience your spirituality. All of those things are part of whom you are and how you are at any given point in time. And so they're all going to be relevant to that decision as to whether or not this is dangerous. And a lot of the time, the system will say, actually, I don't think this is that dangerous, and you don't need so much of that information. And if that happens, you won't be aware of it, and there's actually lots of danger signals going up your spinal cord all the time that you're not aware of, because the system says, don't worry, no problem, carry on. But if the system says, yes, I think there's a risk that you are in danger, it will then ask, well, is this a priority right now? So if you imagine, say, if I'm walking down to the dairy to buy an ice cream in my bare feet, and I stand on something sharp. So a very small group of high threshold danger sensors in my foot will say, hey, danger, a lot of pressure under the foot. And so the system will say, okay, what's happening? I'm in bare feet. There is actually often broken glass around here. I've trodden on broken glass and cut my foot before. I knew I was being a bit lazy by not wearing my shoes. What's it mean? Well, it means that I'll likely bleed on the dairy floor. They don't like that. And I was going to go to the beach this afternoon, and having a cut foot won't make that experience any more agreeable. How am I? I'm pretty good, thank you. So at that point in time, is that a priority? Well, to be honest with you, dairy's not about to shut, and I don't really need the ice cream. So that would certainly be a priority to respond to. But we could have exactly the same situation where I'm same barefoot, the same sharp thing, but I'm running to save my child before they run in front of a car. At that point in time, that really would not be a priority, and the system might not just wind down the information I get, but it might stop it altogether until that priority changes. So once I've got the child back on the footpath, maybe I take them to the dairy to get the ice cream, and then when I look down and see that I've bled on the dairy floor, that's when not only will that priority change, but I'll probably start to get angry as well.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does.
So, if it is a danger and it's a priority to do something about, what the system will do is it will take steps to protect you. Okay, which is a sensible thing to do at that point in time. Now, what it does will be a combination of perceptions and actions. Okay, and so if we look at that, one of the things that it does, and where will we go? Let's go there, is it will make pain. Okay, so pain is what your body makes when it predicts that you're in danger, and then it's a priority to protect you from that.
That makes sense.
Makes sense? Often people think pain is made out here and fed into the body, but actually it comes out as a response to a need to protect. But it's only one of the perceptions the system will make to protect you. It will also make stiffness if it thinks that something shouldn't move so much. It could make stretch if it thinks that something has moved far enough. It could make tingle if it thinks that there is nervous tissue that is at risk. It could make itch if it thinks you're being eaten. It could make fatigue if it thinks what you need to protect are your energy reserves. And I could go on with that list for a much longer for that. But it will also take some key actions. And some of your most powerful protector organs are your muscles. Okay? But muscles can only do two things. They can contract, or they can not contract. Okay, and they can gradate between those. So if you imagine as I'm standing on my sharp thing, there'll be some of my muscles that contract really quickly and others that don't contract really quickly to allow me to suddenly get my foot off there.
Yeah.
If instead I ruptured my cruciate ligament in my knee playing football, well then the system might make a decision that's not safe to load that structure at the moment, and the best thing it can do to protect is to not contract any of those muscles, and my leg will give way.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so it's not that my cruciate ligament's the only thing that holds my leg up, but if the muscles don't hold my leg up, I've got no options.
Yeah.
And it might be that if it thinks I've done something bad to my back, that the muscles all around in my stomach and my back contract at the same time to stop me moving as a way to try and protect that structure. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, we can also change the way that you breathe. Few more options here. We can breathe faster, we can have larger or lesser volumes, we can hold our breath. So if I need to protect myself from a tiger that's stalking me, I might hold my breath. And also if I want to make my trunk more stiff to protect me from movement or load, then I might hold my breath. Versus if I need to run to grab my daughter, then I'm going to breathe a lot faster as I'm doing that. We'll also change the hormones that it makes. So particularly adrenaline and cortisol are very effective at activating our protective systems in our body. So our ability to be able to fight or flee a situation. And also, it will alter the sensitivity of the system so that it can control its access to information.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.